I'm going to get started with a Zegana, or Zegana, I'm going to call her Zegana, deck, Simic, so green-blue. I'm going to make a couple of builds ahead of Ravnica Allegiances, which is coming out, I don't know, maybe like 3 weeks from now. So this time I will have plenty of time to make lots of builds before the set hits, and then I'll make the same builds after the set hits. So I have right over there a selection that I've gone through some of my cards and picked some stronger cards that I have laying around that I never use. I did not have time to go through all of my cards, and actually it's not even that much of a fun challenge. I think it's easier to lay it on slowly in layers. So I think I'm probably going to do this 2 or 3 more times in 2019. So this is a Zegana build, and I have this random booster pack of Return to Ravnica. This is the last pack that I have from the booster box that I bought, I don't know, year and a half ago. I'm not sure if I'm going to crack more packs of the Return to Ravnica block, given how many cards I have. I may buy a few singles, and I'm also going to do some constructed builds. I'm not going to go all Commander. Commander has helped me flesh out some ideas that I have for the cube, but it's only one component of the cube because I want to make the cube draftable, and I want to make a Commander. I want to do both. And so once Ravnica Allegiances comes out, that's when I can focus on all the guilds at the same time. So there was nothing in here that I needed for the cube, and so I'll just set those cards aside and get going with Zegana. It would have been nice if I had pulled something that would have gone right into some of the builds, but this particular build is really out of gate crash. So the commanders that I have, I think I have a few more in the stack. But the commanders that I have that are choices to go with are either Zegana, Tishana, which has this each power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand, which I hate. I don't really like that at all. But it's nice that you have no maximum size. Now in Commander, or any format frankly, it's a 7-drop. It'll come in at the very end of the game. I would not want it as my Commander. Yeah, sure. You can get to draw a card for each creature you control, but that's tricky, especially because there are things like board wipes and target destruction. Tatyova is nice, and it draws you cards. It's a 5-drop. Zegana is a 6-drop. I think Zegana is the better pick to go, and this is why this is going to be a Zegana build. I think I'm still going to put these cards in, even though I'm almost reluctant to put such a big drop, a 7-drop, that is bound by numbers that can change. Still, I think these 3 cards are in. All right. Now I have ordered by mana all the creatures, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go 40 creatures, 20 non-creatures. We'll see how my non-creatures shape up and my creatures shape up. To see if I want to do that. Now, I am fully on counters in this deck, so anything that does counters is good. So for example, in this case, I would be putting a +1/+1 counter with 4 mana. That's a little too heavy. It's not going to make my first round. Now, even though this card is not on counters, it's got Death Touch. It's got a Delirium Clause where it would become a 1/3/3. I'm not playing that game here. I don't think I have enough enchantments, for instance. I don't think I even have any planeswalkers in this selection. So I'm going to say no for the first pass. This guy I really want, especially if I get board wiped. Then it'll come back with counter, so I'm going to say yes. I'm not on 3 or more colors. Not sure that I need a BOP. I'm definitely on Evolve, so this guy is in. Same with this guy. This card can help me balance my mana because it'll give my mana, a color that I may not have a good selection of. I'm not sure because I'm going to be playing longer games than Commander. I would say if I was building it in Constructed, I'd think about it better. It's nice to have a counter spell staple to a 1-drop, but I'm still going to leave it for a second turn. This card has Flash. It's a 2/2/1. That's kind of neat because I can bring it in for a block and do a neat chump block. So I'm going to say yes. The Guild Mages, I don't know if they're that good. But this Guild Mage is only green-blue, so the costs are pretty low. So I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to play I'm not sure, I should say, if I'm going to play the dinosaur game. So I'm going to set this card aside, and if I start playing the dinosaur game, I'll bring it in. Yeah, cast dinosaur spells, so they have Flash. Not sure. I'm going to save the dinosaurs for later because I'm not going tribal right now. I'm just going through, and it's all value critters. Okay. I really like this card. I'm a huge fan of it. So I'm going to say yes. Baral is really strong, but does not fit this deck. I'm not on instants and sorceries. It's nice that Skin Shifter can become various types of creatures by adding 1 mana. In some cases it'll have flying. In some cases it'll be a big wall. So I'm going to say yes. I'm also going to say yes to Scavenging Ooze. And it's a counters card, even better. This is not a counters card, but it can be turned into a flyer. I played it a lot when Cans of Tarkir was around, so I'm going to say yes to it. The same with the Walker. I'm not sure it's exactly the best card for a Simic deck. It doesn't have counters, but it's pretty good, so I'll say yes. The test subject, you can pump mana into it to continue to give it these hatchling counters, and then it becomes some gigantic trampler, so I like it. I would say yes to it. Auto include to draw cards. Auto include to get mana. Auto include because explore triggers are pretty good with count because they can generate counters. This is good, but it's still a 2/1/1. This is pretty good because you can look at the top of your deck. This is pretty good, but it's a little restrictive. I love this card, but it's just on 2 green. It could, I don't know. I don't know. It's a really good card, and when it gets knocked out, it'll get a counter. So I'm gonna say yes. And do I have a duplicate? I think I do. Yeah. So that's a dupe. Yeah. So I already have this card. Scrying is really good. Be able to tell what's going on with your deck. I'll take it. More scrying. I'll get picky later. Right now I'm just looking at things that are like definitely kind of in. Yeah, raid with a +1/+1 counter. It's a flyer. Yeah, sure. And this one, when it deals combat damage, give that permanent or player another counter. That can backfire because it's not a may. For each kind of counter on target, well, you get to pick 1 permanent or 1 player. Yeah, that's good. You pick yourself. It's in. Mana, sure, why not? Uncounterable, why not? It's got flash, can be disruptive, also pretty good, yes. It can destroy target artifact, and it hurts your opponent's artifacts. I like it. Not sure if I'm going to play the have a lot of cards in hand, so I'm going to say no. The enrage is only going to come from chump blocking, so I'm going to say no. I really didn't like Outlast, but I put these in here just to think about them. Because even if I don't use the Outlast on it, each creature I control with a +1/+1 counter will have trample. That's kind of nice. I'm going to say yes. Very heavy cost for counters. 4 mana for a +1 counter. 2 blue to draw a single card. Don't know. I'm going to actually put it in the maybe pile. I need mana, and it's nice to drop this when you don't care how much it costs. But I'm not sure I need it that badly. Hexproof, number of forests you control. I'm not a mono green, so I'm going to say no. I have played this dude. He kind of sucked. Because you're upping up for 2. So it's like you pump 5 mana into it, you get a 3/3. So I'm going to say no. The Hydra. Yeah, when it dies, you get to put a bunch of tokens. You can use Morph. I mean, it's a strong card. I'm not sure that I need it in this deck. Unblockable 3/04. It'll trigger other evolves. I like it. It also has evolve. You can play a counters game, and you can gain control of target creature with specific power based on the counters. That's kind of neat. That's a neat trick. Another evolve card, 3/1/2, and you can move counters around. That's good. Another evolve card, 3/3/2. Yeah, when it evolves, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. That's really good. Look at the cards in top of your deck. I'm gonna say no. Stapled Naturalize is, I think, good. Also, draws you a card. I'm not sure if I'm gonna need it. I'm not on walls. Wonderful Wall, it's got flying, but I'm not on them. Disruptive, because return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Not sure I need it. Fabricate, puts counters, or generates a servo. I'll usually go for the counters. 4/2 with haste. It'll be a 4/3/3. It's not bad. It's pretty casual. I'm going to say yes for now. It's got Enrage. It's going to get triggered for Enrage from chump blocking, not from anything that I do, and it'll draw me a card. I'll take it. Another draw me a card, Helper. I'll take it. For now, I'm saying for the first pass. A flyer. Counters, Helper. Yeah, it's in. Fantastic critter, of course. It's got to be in. One of the key creatures in Simic. Same here. Got to be in. Puts counters on a land you control. I am not sure if I need this card. Enters the battlefield with counters based on how... and then whenever you cast a multicolored spell... Not multicolored... gets a +1/+1 counter. I'll put it in maybe. Death Touch 5/3/5. You may destroy target artifact or enchantment when this becomes blocked. I think I already have enough of that effect. Give your permanents indestructible, so it'll save you from a board wipe. Yeah, I like it. A card that nobody should ever turn down. Big Trampler, and when another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. Yeah, sure. Fabricate 2/6/3/4. That's a 6/5/6. It's not that great. Fantastic. Yes. Looks good, and it's a flyer, and you can tap artifacts. Yeah, but I'm not on artifacts. No. Pretty good as a casual card in here. Draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter. Yeah. Really big, I'm not sure that I need it. And I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this one. So here we are. I've looked through my creatures for the first pass. In the next video, I'm gonna look at the non-creatures for the first pass.